Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? Russ here from Poker's Corner. Biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here nobody dare say. So, this is what it is. So, with regard to the above, the board will be introducing a new license procedure for applicant managers and promoters from 1st of January. It will run on similar lines as the present trainer second courses, which have been very successful. Each new applicant will be initially interviewed by their relevant area council, and if successful, referred to the course. The course will be quarterly and undertaken by Zoom and will include a multiple choice test at the completion of the course. Oh my God. No wonder it boards on its knees. Jesus. Unbelievable, eh? So that's what you've got to do now, eh? If you want to be a license for the applicant managers and promoters from 1st of Jan. Oh, they just put work in front of, they're just putting obstacles in front of stuff, aren't they? Bored of no control. Don't even get me started on them. Right. Is Big Meech, aka Anthony Joshua, is he cutting corners really going with Ben Davidson? Is he getting Ben on cheap? So I know he don't pay his trainers 10%, not like the Cobra, who did all the way through his career, from first fight to last, 10%. But they're not all like that, are they? Some of these fighters, they become mercenaries, don't they, when they get the big money? It's up to the trainers to stand firm, innit? You pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Nobody's saying Ben Davidson's a monkey, but if it goes bad for Joshua, it'll go bad for Ben Davison, I think. That's what they'll say. Lee Wood got out of the Conlan fight and the Warrington fight because of his power, not because of what Davison told him. So if it goes bad for Joshua this weekend, it'll go bad for Ben. If it goes good for Joshua, it'll go good for Ben. So it's Ben's at the crossroads here. This could go other way, this. If he has a bad weekend, Ben Davison with Joshua in that corner, if it's a nightmare or it gets dropped or they get it somewhat wrong and somebody picks up on it, that's it. They'll feed him to Wolves, young boxer size Benny from Crossroads. So, what I want to know is, are we ever going to see any trainers in North? Some of these lads up north here, are they ever going to get a look in with your Joshuas or your Ben Whitakers, people like that? Are they? I'm starting to wonder. Could you see Flex training Anthony Joshua because our flexible friend from Winkerbank has been doing some serious cheerleading for Big Meech this week. And you flexy baby. So I'm wondering if next stop on the Anthony Joshua search for a trainer, uh, carry on. It could be Flex after Ben Davison because you're only one punch away from being a shit trainer, aren't you? No. Do you know what I mean? At the moment, it's go to Ben Davidson. He's the best. The Dark Lord. Ben Davidson's the new Dark Lord, but if Joshua gets lit up this weekend or schooled, they'll be saying, well, what did Ben know? But if Joshua wins his style, they'll be saying emerging trainer Ben Davidson. That's just how brutal the sport of boxing is. Speaking of being brutal, Sonny Edwards. We'll finish off on Sonny Edwards. Is it some in the makeup of British fighters? Once once they get to this top level, they're fighting in unifications or against the top tier guys. They've never been in a firefight, and that's what's happening, isn't it? You know, Billy Joe, Sonny, Daniel Dubois. What? Is it something in our makeup, or do we just have to bite down on gum shield and go through it, or do we need to stop skipping levels and let fighters have some 50-50 hard fights at British level on the hard road? You know, like a Clinton Woods, Crawford Ashley. You know, them sort of fights. You know, Froch, Brian McGee, something like that. Learning fights, tough fights. That's what we need to start seeing. We don't want to see fighters skipping levels, and then when they get to promised land, it's not working out for him, is it? You know what I mean? Looking at the video as I've seen it, he's going back to his corner. The trainer's all getting revved up for the next round. He leans into his trainer, speaks to him. The trainer immediately turns around and waves the fight off. That to me, what I saw logically, looking with my own eyeballs, is a fighter that didn't want to carry on. Call it what you want. If we want to dress it up, we'll say he didn't want to carry on because he thought he had injuries and blah, 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 blah. You're a boxer, aren't you? You're going in there. You know the rules. You're going to get injured, aren't you? You know, you can't keep getting at the big one and then doing that. And it happens to it's happened to a few of them. They've given it the big one. And that's what happens. So you have to own it. Some people refuse interviews, like Billy Joe. He didn't want to talk about it, in denial. Sonny's being Mr. Humble. Well, what can he do? So, but I thought he was a good sportsman. But I think this game's about levels, and I think he will found wanting. And you'll have to be very nice to Eddie Hills now because that's the only game in town for Sonny now, isn't it? So you'll have to be very nice to Eddie. Very nice. So, okie dokie. Well, peace out. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Booyaka.